Welcome back. Fan TV continues, and we're going to talk hockey. Pre-Buffalo Sabres hockey. A lot of you, I would think, know that, of course, the Buffalo Bisons were around then, the American Hockey League, and Tim Warchocki is here. Tim has written a book called Before the Blade. It is basically a very detailed history of the Buffalo Bisons, and he joins us here in studio. Nice to see you, Tim. Thanks for coming in.
Glad to be here. We'll
take your questions at 1-800-388-7897. I know when we've talked about the Bisons in the past, we have gotten calls from people who remember going to Bison games at the Odd and talk about some great history of hockey here. The book, by the way, is available at Media Play. It is published by Rama. The first print sold out. You're in a second print already?
Thank you to everybody who made it a success.
Well, we'll get you hopefully a little more success by talking about it. There you see a shot of the cover of the book, and I guess first off, I was curious why. I mean, this is a lot of work. You had to go back into the 1920s. What made you want to do research on the Buffalo Bisons to begin with and put this book together?
Well, for one thing, I love hockey, and I love history, so I thought we'll tie the two together and do something on hockey. They did. They were fighting for NHL positions.
It was only $1.50, and we didn't have much money, and for $10, my wife and I had a wonderful evening. We used to go always by streetcar.
Yeah. I think that's kind of neat, and you probably found this, and you touched on it a moment ago when you were doing research. And I remember we did something about the Bisons a couple of years back on the show, and we got so many calls just like that. And I think it must be amazing because you find so many people reminiscing about the great nights when they used to go watch the Bisons.
That's what I tried to put into this book. When you go out and look at this book, when you go out to Media Play and take a look at this book, you'll see, it'll bring back. I brought 3 grown men to tears. They called me up and they were actually crying, that they remember, that it brings back such memories. The Bisons also played in Fort Erie, Ontario for their first 7 years too. They didn't have, before the Odd was built, they had to play in Fort Erie.
Now, I'm going to work on this here, and we'll get a shot of, I found Mike's picture. Let's see, there we go. There's Mike Robitaille. We're going to get a shot of this. A little bit different than the Mike Robitaille we see on Hockey Hotline.
It's Tony Danza.
The face is the same. The hair's a little bit different. But I'll have to say that next time Mike is on, when we get into the next hockey season, we'll give him a little grief about that. How about, the history of the Odd, too, and